where we are now evolving to develop the fleet that was once referred to as the Coast Guard fleet will now be transferred to the Coast Guard Marine Infantry Division. So all of these men and women that have stood behind me now have to be transformed into becoming Marines. Marines first. They will still do their Coast Guard training, but that takes place at a different time. We're also trying to tailor the Coast Guard recruit training curriculum, where now after 12 weeks you graduate as a Coast Guard Marine, and subsequently you go through a one-year apprenticeship period where you learn your Coast Guard skills, the traditional Coast Guard skills, and your law enforcement skills.
So what we did is we focused on things like patrolling, marksmanship, hand-to-hand combat techniques, etc. What we're looking to do is basically build a train-the-trainer type aspect here, because at some point in time we're going to leave, and we want to enable our partners to do the same while we're gone. So we have our time together here. We're going to work with one another as best we can and as frequently as we can. But when we're gone, we want to make sure that the Coast Guard is able to do their thing as well once we're gone.
What happened here in the Coast Guard, as traditional Coast Guardsmen, we found ourselves doing a lot of coastal and amphibious operations, which our traditionally trained Coast Guard men and women weren't prepared to deal with, and hence the reason for the transformation. So yes, a lot of what we done has to do with the interface between working as a law enforcement officer on board an enforcement vessel, but then there has to be an interface in the littorals and coming in contact with the coasts and the beaches and the mangrove swamps, and that's where we need to be as equally capable as we are on our boats at sea. So developing that amphibious component, the marine infantry skills, is extremely important to what we do now as almost a non-traditional Coast Guard